Hi guys, welcome back to CodePrayukti, and today we will start with the chapter 9, that is flow of control. So I have already opened the terminal and the notebook. So I have changed the approach for this video, as this chapter is having 30 odd of questions. Writing all the questions and I mean writing all the codes for 30 questions is not possible for one video. So I have already written the code, as you can see this. Now I will run the code and explain it accordingly. If you have any sort of questions, you can comment that particular thing in the comment box. I will try to explain it and try to give the feedback, try to give the answers to your questions. So let me start with the first one. It is saying write a Python script that asks the user to enter a length of centimeters. If the user enter a negative length, then the program should tells the user that entry is not valid, otherwise okay. So for the first line, it is user input, that is the message is showing as enter length in centimeter, and then it is saying that if the user enters a negative length or a negative value, then it should return as entry invalid. So invalid input I have to print if there is negative value. So negative value, how do I find? Negative value is less than 0. So that's why I have put if else conditions here. So it is saying if that particular user input is less than 0, then we have to print invalid input, and if it is not less than 0, then we have to do the operations like the int should be that particular value divided by 2.145, and we have to print that particular thing. So let me run the code. So it is asking me to give a user input. Let me give 200 first and see what is giving. It says 200 centimeter is equal to 78.74 and other remaining inches. Now let me see what negative value gives us as an input. So -2. It is saying invalid input. Okay, so my code is working. Let me go to the next question. It is saying a store charges to 120 per item if you buy less than 10 items. If you buy between 10 to 99 items, it costs around per item cost around 100, and if you buy more than that, then the cost would be 70. So let me first create a user input. So I have created and stored it in n. Then the cost I have, I mean I initialize the cost with the value 0. The next line would be if else block, and if you can see, there is a elif is nothing but else if. In other programming language we call it else if, in Python we call it elif. So elif is nothing but, first the code will check this. If this condition doesn't match, then this operation will skip. Next we'll go to this condition. If that also doesn't match, then this condition will also get skipped. Then finally this condition will happen, like if the code will run for this particular condition. So let me first run the code and let me see if I give the item as 2, that is n is less than 10. So the total cost is 240. That means this condition happens only. Now if I give it as, let's say, 20, then it is 2000. 2000 means it is counting this. That means 20 into 100, because n is greater than 10. So that this is true. That's why 20 into 10, I mean 20 into 100, that is 2000 is happening. So now the last one, let me give 100. So it would be 7000, because item number is 100. So 100 is greater than or equal to 100, like this condition is true. That's why 100 into 70 is 700. So this is also done. Let me go to the next one. It is saying write a program that reads user an hour between 1 to 12. Okay, this program I already written for the previous video, so I'll not go for the explanation. I will just write the code. It is, if I give 12, it will say 12 o'clock. How many hours ahead? So yeah, 0. It is saying 12 o'clock. If I give, let's say, 12 and then 6, it will say 6 o'clock, because it is 6 hours ahead of 12. So that is it for this code. Then the next is write a program that asks the user for two numbers and print close if the number is within 0.001 of each other and not close otherwise. Okay, so if it is asking me to give two floating numbers, if the subtraction between those two numbers is 0.001, then we have to print close, and otherwise we have to print not close. So that is what is written here. So again, a if else block needed. So if first we have to check whether a is greater than whether a is the largest number or the b, whether a is big or b. So first we have to check this, and if a is greater than b, then the d, that is the answer I can say, is I am checking a minus b, else that means a is less than b, so that's why b is bigger than a, so b minus a is happening. And after this operation happens, we finally get d either ways from here or here, and we have to check if d is less than or equal to 0.001. If d is less than or equal to 0.001, then we have to print close, else we have to print not close, 0.001 or not. So let me first go for the first number. So it is, let's say, 100.879. okay, and the second one is 100.890 or 880. So that is 0.1 greater than the first one, so it is saying close. And if I change the number to 100.87897, and the second one is, let's say, 200, this, it is saying not close. So number are very far from each other. So this is it for the fourth one. The fifth one is, okay, this is also a leap year kind of question. I already have the solution in the last video, and that is, let's say, 2000 is a leap year. It is saying 2000 is a leap year, I know that. Now the next is 2024, that is also a leap year, so it is saying 2024 is a leap year. But this year, current year, is not a leap year, so I'll print that, and it is saying 2023 is not a leap year, so it is also working fine. The sixth one is write a program to input length of 3 sides of a triangle, then check if these sides will form a triangle or not. The rule is a plus b, all these are the sides, a, b and c. So a plus b, it will be greater than c. If that happens, then it will form a triangle. And b plus c greater than a, then also, and c plus a greater than b. Okay, so let me first so yeah, for that I have 3 user input, and then we are checking with the if else block that if a plus b greater than c and b plus c greater than a and a plus c greater than b, then it is then we are saying triangle is possible, and otherwise it is saying triangle is not possible. Okay, so let me give a random value, 20, 10, and let's say 30. It is saying triangle is not possible, so with that 20, 10 and 30, a triangle cannot be possible. Now let me check with 3, 5, 6. It is saying triangle is possible, so with this kind of value I can make a triangle. So that is it for this sixth one. The seventh one is write a short program, input a digit, to input a digit and print its word. Acha. So we have total 0 to 9, that means 10 digit for like we have only we have 10 digit. The digits are 0, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, all these are the digits. If I can uh, yeah, so all these are the digits. So for the simplicity of the code, I have written if d is equal 0, then 0 we have to print, and if d is equal 1, then 1, accordingly till d equal 9, then 9. And if the digit is not belonging to this range, then invalid digit. So let me check. Let me see for 8, it is 8. Let me see minus 1, it will say invalid digit. Let me go for 89, it's not a digit, it's a number with 2 digit, it is also invalid digit. Let me go for 9, it is saying 9. Let me go for 0, it is saying 0. So that is it for this code. Then the next one is write a short program to check whether a square root of number is a prime or not. Okay, so what is prime? So let me first tell you what is prime. Prime number is a number that is divisible by itself and 1 only. So a number which is divisible by itself and 1, that would be a prime number. So that is 2 is a prime number, but 4 is not a prime. Okay, so for that we have to take n input from the user, and we have to import this library, math library, so that we can use this sqrt. Okay, so let's say my user input is 9, so the square root of 9 would be 3, so SR would be 3. Then it will go for int of 3 plus 1, that is 1 to 4. That means 3 loop, I mean 3 iteration it will have. 1 to 4 means 1 minus 4, that is 3 iteration it will have. And for that particular iteration it will check if SR percent I equal 0, then C plus equal 1. C plus equals 1 is nothing but C plus C equal C plus 1. So C will increment by 1. And if C is equal 2, then the square root is a prime, else the square root is not prime. That means we are checking if it is divisible by itself, then C would become plus 1. So C is first 0, then 0 plus 1 is 1, and it is divisible by 1, that is another check. So that's where C will become 1 plus 1, that is 2. So if C is only 2 equal 2, then it is a square root is a prime, else it will not be a prime. That means if C is greater than 2 or some else value. So let me go for this. Let me see 9. So it is saying square root is a prime because 3 will be the SR value, and 3 is nothing but 3 is divisible by itself 3 and 1. So 3 is a prime. Let me go for 4. Let me see, it is saying the square root is a prime because 4 is the user input where the SR is 2. So this will be, so SR is 2, so 2 is divisible by itself 2 and 1. So that's where C became 2, and this would perform, I mean this code will perform. So if I go for 16 here, then it would become 4, and if SR is becoming 4, if SR is 4, that means 4 is divisible by 4 itself with 1 and 2 as well. So in this case C became 3. And if C is not 2, that means this will get printed. So this is not a prime, 4 is not a prime number. So if I go for 16, it will print that square root is not a prime. So yeah, that is it for this code. So for the 9th question, it is saying write a short program to print first n odd numbers in the descending order. Okay, so I have to print all the odd numbers till a range, and it will be a descending. So for the first what are the first 5 odd numbers? So that will be 1 is 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, then 9, and then 11. These 5 are, okay, this is 6, so these 5 are the odd numbers, uh, like first 5 odd numbers, and we have to print it in the descending order. That means first will be 9, then 7, then 5, then 3, then 1. Okay, so that first we are checking, we are taking n as an user input, then x would be n into 2 minus 1. So the value for x would be if for me user input is 5, then x would become 5 into 2 minus 1, that means 10 minus 1, that is 9. And we are checking here for the for loop, the for loop range would be x, that is 9, till 0, and the difference between 2. Inside a for loop, if this first digit is greater than the second digit, that means we are going from this point to this point. That means we are going from 9 to 0. Okay, so now first it will check 9, so 9 will be checked, then it will go the next place is, we are denoting is -2, so it will check 9 minus 2, sorry, here, not here, so it will check 9 minus 2, so that is the second one, and it is actually 7. Then it will go for 7 minus 2 again, and it is 5. And if you can see, we are printing 7, 9, 7, 5, all these are the odd numbers. Then up till 0, when 0 is reached, this for loop execution gets stopped. So if I can show you till 5, see, 9, 7, 5, 3, then 1. So that is it for this question. And then the 10th one is, write a short program to print a following series. First one is 1, 4, 7, 10, 40, and the second one is 1, minus 4, 7, minus 10. Acha. So yeah, the numbers are same for these two series, but there is a minus, I mean there is a minus sign in every single iteration. Okay, fine. So for that I have written, for the first code, first series is this code, and for the second series is this code. So for the first series we are printing, the range is from 1 to 41, because we have to print till 40. So one is, if there is a 41, then it will go for only 40 count. So 1 till 40 it will come, because it is 41, and it will increment the number, every iteration it will increment the value, it will add 3 to the particular value. That means first one would be 1, then second one would be 1 plus 3, that is 4, then 4 plus 7, 4 plus 3, that is 7, till it will go to 40 for this for loop. Okay, and for this for loop, when x is 1 and I is 1, so here my I is 1 for the first iteration, and then I have to print 1 into x, that is 1. Okay, for the second iteration I became, oh acha, after printing 1, then we have to do this simple operation, that is x equal x into minus 1. That means 1 into minus 1 will be becoming 1, minus 1 actually. So for the next iteration x is minus 1, for the next iteration x is minus 1. So now I equal, second iteration I equal 1 plus 3, that is 4, and we have to print 4 into minus 1, cause x became minus 1, and this 4 into minus 1 is minus 4, so we are getting minus 4 here. And then again x became minus 1, because x for this time x is minus 1, and we are multiplying it with again minus 1, so minus 1 into minus 1 is 1. So for that, for the third time, like for this seventh one, so 7 into 1, that would become 7. So that's how it is working. Like the first one is even, first one is a positive number, then the second one is negative, then the third one is positive, fourth one is negative. That's how it is going. So if I print this, it is printing 1, 7, 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16 till 40, and for the second series it is printing 1, minus 4, 7, minus 10, 13, minus 16, 19 till minus 40. So we are achieving the result. So in the next section, like for the 11th question, write a short program to find average of list of entered through keyboard. Acha, list of number entered through keyboard. Okay, so here we are not giving any range, so it is saying enter q to see the average. Okay, fine. So first number is 10, I am entering, then second number is 67, whatever number I can give, it will take till I hit a Q. So now if I hit Q here in the input section and enter, it will see like this is the end of the end of taking input, and it will take the first 1 2 3 4 5 6 inputs equal that value and divided by 6 and make an average of 57.5. We make while true explicitly, so it will go infinite time till I make that if n, that means this input is Q or capital Q. So if this is Q, this Q and capital Q, it fine, then that while loop will break. Otherwise it will take and sum it up, take and sum it up, take and sum it up, and count will become 1. So after the breaking of this while loop, this count, like whatever time it is taking the input, it will add that particular count, sum the value and divided it, so we will get the average of that particular iteration. So we will get the average of that. So the 12th question is, write a program to input three sides of a triangle and print whether it is an equilateral, scalar and isolation. Okay, so we are taking three input, user input, three sides of a triangle, and if a equal b and b equal c, then it is a equilateral triangle. Okay, so that is the condition. And now the next one is a equal b or b equal c or c equal, whether, or I mean these three, if any of these three is true, then isosceles triangle, we are printing that. And if these two conditions not match, then we print the third one. So let me go for the first one. It is saying 10 10, and if I hit 10, so that means this first equation will meet. That means this first if block will happen. So a equal b and b equal c, so it would be equilateral triangle. So now if I can say 20, 10 and 20, that means this c plus c equal a is true, 20 and 20, so it is isosceles triangle. And if nothing get matched like 10, 20 and 30, it will be the third one. So yeah, this is also done. For the 13th one, write a program to take an integer as an input and check whether it ends with 4 or 8. If it ends with 4, print ends with 4. If it is end with 8, then print 8. Otherwise print end with neither. Okay, so we are taking an input, user input. Let's say I am taking 44 as user input. So first it will check if a percent 10 equal 4 or not. So a percent 10 is nothing but 44% 10. That means the remainder 44 divided by 10, the remainder would be 10, would be 4 or not. If this value is equal to 4, then we are saying ends with 4. If this value, that means 44% 10, that is 4, equal 8, then we'll print this, otherwise this. So for the first one, let me say 44, and it will print ends with 4 because this thing happens. The second one, let me print 48, and it is saying ends with 8. So for the second one, it is saying 48, and now here it will see 48% 10 equal 4 is false, because it is not false, because 48% 10 is 8, so 8 is not equal 4. So it will come here and check 48% 10 equal 8 is true, then this code happen. And if both this is not true, then let me see 66, because it's end with 6, so it says ends with neither, so not 4 not 8. Okay, so that is it for the 13th one. The 14th one, it is saying write a program to take n, which will be greater than 20 as a input of user, from user, print number from 11 to n. So I have to print from 11 to greater than 20, that means whatever user input I am giving. When the number is a multiple of 3, print tipsy. When it is a multiple of 7, print topsy. When it is both multiple of 3 and 7, then tipsy topsy. Okay, fine. So n is, we are taking n as an user input. So first check, what will be the first check, because we are explicitly mentioning n would be greater than 20. So we have to check the user is providing n with a value less than 20 or not. So first we are checking if n is less than or equal to 20, because it is saying it would be greater than 20 only. So we have to print invalid input, because it is less than or equal to 20. So 20 will not work, and less than 20 will not definitely work. Else, if it is greater than 20, that means this else block happens. Then for I in range 11 to n plus 1, that means whatever value I am giving, let's say 21 I am giving, so it will come here. If let's say I am giving 21, and it will check if block. So for this, if block is false, so it will come to the else block, and else block is true, and now it will come here with a for loop with a range. Range would be 11 to 21 plus 1, that means 22. Okay, so it will go till 11 to 22, and it will print I, that means every iteration, like 11, then 12, then 13, 14 till 21. Then it will check if I percent 3 is equal 0, that means the value 11 percent 3, that means 11 is fully divisible by 3 or not, and the 11 is fully divisible by 7 or not. If these both true, then tipsy topsy. If 11 is divisible by 3, is fully divisible by 3, that means 11% 3 equal 0, then only tipsy, and else it would be topsy. So let me say 30, it is greater than 20, so it is saying 11, then 12, then 13. Okay, so this is a little wrong. Actually I have to print this, remove this, else print I. Okay, so now let me see 30. Okay, so it is saying 11, then tipsy. So tipsy means first it will check 11. So now I is 11. For the first iteration I is 11. So it will check if this is true or not. This is not true. This is true or not. This is also not true. This is true or not. This is not true. Then it will print 11. Then for the next iteration, when I is 12. So it will check this. First one is getting true, but the second one is false, because 12% 7 is not equal 0. So this whole is not true. Then it will come here, then it is true, so it is tipsy, so it will print tipsy. Then for the 13th one, again it will come here and print this, because nothing will be true. And for the 14th one, 14 is nothing but it will not getting true, but it will true, so eventually it will be false. It will be false again. And 14% 7, it is divisible by, 14 is divisible by 7, that means it will be equal 0, so it is getting true, so it will print topsy here. 15th, okay, tipsy only, because it is divisible by 3, not 7. Then 21 is divisible by 3 and 7 both, that's why it is tipsy topsy, because after 20 it is 21. Okay, so it is also done, 14th one. So we go for the 15th one. It is saying write a short program to find the largest number of a list of numbers entered through keyboard. Okay, so largest number, like similarly like this, we are getting the average, but here we are asking for the largest number we are entering. So the same thing will happen, and finally it will check if n is greater than l, like we have to increment l to n every time. Let me tell you how it happening. Like first we are giving 10, so l would become 10. Okay, so next thing, if I enter is 20, then it will check if the previous 10 is greater than 20 or not. It is not, 10 is less than 20, so it will take 20 as next l. And now if I go for, let's say, 12, so it will check the last l, that is 20, is greater than 12 or not. Yes, it is greater than 20, is greater than 12, so it will not swap, like it will not make l as 12. it will take L as 20 only. So yeah, that is it. And then we are closing the while loop with Q, and it will print largest number is 20. So whatever iteration you go, just print a Q and it will print the largest number what you have entered till now. Okay, so for the 16th one, write a program to input n number and then print the second largest number. Okay, so here is something different, like it will it for this one it is printing the largest number, and for this one it will print the second largest number, not the largest one. So let me print this. How many number you want? Let me enter five number I want. So for the 5 iteration it will go. So it is 10, 34, 77, 78, 5 this and this. So it is saying the second largest number is 556, because the largest number is 787 and the second largest number is 556. So you first check this code. If you find the answer how it becoming the second largest number, I mean how it taking the second largest number, you can comment it out in the comment section. And if you cannot find that, you can ask me in the comment section. I will definitely give the explanation to this input, like to this program. So for the 17th one, give a list integer, write a program to find those which are palindrome. For example, number. Okay, so let me say first what is palindrome. So palindrome is nothing but the first, like the number would be similar after swapping. Like let's say this 1 to 1, 1 to 1 is a palindrome, because if I rotate this number, it would also become 1 to 1. But 1 2 3 would not be a palindrome, cause if I rotate this number, it would become 3 2 1. So it is not a palindrome. This 1 to 1 is not a palindrome. I mean 1 2 3 is not a palindrome. Similarly, this, if I copy this and paste it here 4, and the rotation would be 3 4 from this, from here it would be rotated 4 then 3, sorry, 4 then 3 then 2 then 1 then again 2 3 4. Okay, so this is same as this number, so this is also a palindrome. So that's what it is saying here. We are reversing the number actually. So with this while loop we are reversing the number. So this will be reversed to this, and now we are checking if this is equal to this or not. If this is equal to, if this 1 2 3 is equal to 3 2 1, then it will be a palindrome. If not, then it is not a palindrome. So with this value we are reversing, and with this equal sign we are checking if it is a palindrome or not. So let me go, let me first type 1 to 1, then it is saying 1 to 1 is a palindrome, then 1 2 3, it is saying 1 2 3 is not a palindrome. As you know, 1 2 3 is not a palindrome. Then we are giving 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 3 3 2 2 1 1. Let me see, it is a palindrome, because see, if you can see after reversing the name number is same, so it is a palindrome. Okay, so that is it. We are closing this with Q. Okay, so it is done. So yeah, it is done. So now from 18 to the next 30, this 12 to 30 odd question, I will explain it in the next video, because the video is already, because this video is already getting big. So I will put the notebook in the video description. You can take it from there. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned.